I can't see you, so okay, I'll hold it here. This is Good morning. My name is Lucille Barone, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at the center. Thank you for joining us in meditation today. And those of you at home, which is all of us, you might be tempted to try to do this meditation while you multitask with your to-do list that's lying in front of you. So I just would invite you to take this time out for yourself, to go within and be here now. So find a quiet place in your home, put on those headphones if you need to. So just settle in and just become aware of your breath. Notice its qualities. Is it deep or shallow? Free or constrained? Smooth or rough? Now we'll take a few deep breaths. And on a deep exhale, release the tension in your body by shaking your hands and any other body part you feel moved to do, and just say an audible ah. Ah. And just do that a few more times at your own pace, and just be as loud as you feel comfortable, and just release all that tension in both your body and your hands. And so now let's just focus back within our body temple. Maybe now that you've released some tension, just adjust your position in your chair and get comfortable. Feet flat on the floor, back straight if possible. And we'll just go within and breathe all the way to your toes. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let the energy of your out breath clear out any residual areas of constraint or tension. And on your next deep inhale, as go all the way down to your toes, and on the exhale, just notice as you exhale the gentle wave of calm and release that starts at your toes. And with each breath, allow that warm sensation of calm to rise up from your toes into your calves, your knees, your thighs, your sit bones, into the small of your back. For many of us, that's a place where tension gathers. So just give some gentle focus to the small of your back and release any sense of tension you might feel there. And this warm feeling goes up from your sit bones into your small of the back, up each of our vertebrae, and up into the top of the neck and shoulders, another area where tension can sometimes congregate. So we just go and give it some gentle attention, and we release and let go. The warm feeling then extends from the shoulders down your arms into your wrists, your hands, to the very tips of your fingers. And we release and let go. Release and let go. And that warm feeling rises from your neck and into your head and your face. Check in with the muscles of your face. Let them go and release. So on our next deep inhale to our toes, we let that warm wave rise up, clearing away any residual constraint or tension. Our body temple is a place of perfect calm, perfect peace, the perfect space for us to go within and contemplate and meditate. As I go within, I know that my deepest most place and my highest most place is one. The active presence of spirit at the very center of my being. It is nearer than my next breath. At this very center of my being is this divine presence of perfect intelligence, perfect peace, harmony, vitality, perfect love. I know this divine presence is the invisible cause that is the substance of all things. It is infinite possibility. I know that right here and right now, I am on the standpoint of limitless opportunities for my self-expression. I open wide the bounds of my imagination. Here in this perfect stillness, I give my imagination free rein to envision the radiant future of all my desires. I know that my faith is the substance of all the things I desire, I hope for. My faith is the evidence of things not yet seen. I know that all things are possible through my faith. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet arrived. And today, I live in an eternal presence filled with everlasting good. I daily increase my expectancy of a greater good, greater joy, deeper peace, and a more complete sense of divine power. I know that this divine power is the cause for all my future experience. And I open wide the gates of my receiving of this divine imprint on my thoughts, actions, words. I look away from distractions for the other things clamoring to be cause in my life, external events, my past history, opinions. And I go within and renew myself daily by drawing on the well of this divine intelligence. Day by day, I'm renewed in the spirit of my mind. So now just slowly bring your awareness back into the room, back into your body. Just reconnect with your body. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Shift your head. Take a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So I thank each one of you for taking the time to be here, to help bring your energy of love into not only your physical being, your physical space, but in the greater one mind. And so look forward to being with you in our service of celebration and inspiration. Thank you. Namaste.
but yeah, totally. I have man, in just like an hour, they're fully charged.
I know. It's so great.
Fun.
Struck by lightning sounds pretty frightening, but you know the chances are so small. Struck by the bee sting, nothing but a bee thing. Better chance you're gonna buy it at the mall. But there's a 23 or 4 one to fall in love by the end of this song. So get up, tell the bookie put a bet on, all the damn thing will go wrong. The odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright for another night. Hit by the A train, crashing an airplane. I wouldn't recommend either one. Killed by a great white or meteorite. I guess there ain't no way to go that's fun. But somewhere in the world, someone is gonna fall in love by the end of this song. So get up, no it's never gonna let up, so you might as well sing along. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright for another night. Sure, things go wrong, but I'll take my chances. Odds are long, so why not play? Struck by lightning sounds pretty frightening, but you know the chances are so small. Hit by the A train, crashed in an airplane. Bitch, I'm gonna buy it at the mall. But there's a 23 or 4 to 1 that you can fall in love by the end of this song. So get up, no I'm never gonna let up, so you might as well sing along. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright tonight. Odds are that we will probably be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright. Odds are we're gonna be alright for another night. Ooh.
Woo, how about those harmonies? I love that. I'm Reverend Marjorie Contenti, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you this morning to the Calgary Centre for Spiritual Living. Your usual speaker and leader of the service, Dr. Pat Campbell, is on her way to California. Her flight was changed. She had arranged to leave later, but WestJet, in their wisdom, decided that I needed to do this service. Yes. So Dr. Pat is on her way. Yay. So it's my great pleasure to be here. Thank you. with no one in the audience, or just Lucille who led the meditation and our sound folks. It's nice to have the enthusiasm of the band here. So that's great. So I want to welcome everyone to this service today, whether you are a newcomer, whether you've been around a while and see this as your spiritual home. I want to welcome you. I want you to know that we honor all paths in this teaching and in this center. That, as Pat says every week, we know that there are 8 billion plus people on this planet. So how can there be only one path to the divine, to that understanding within of what you say spirit or life or the universe or God is to you? So we honor the paths. You'll notice all the symbols around the sides of the slide, honoring all different sorts of faith traditions. The one in the upper, the little blue and white one in the upper, my right corner, is a symbol for the science of mind. So it's the idea of spirit descending into our everyday affairs. So knowing we're spiritual beings, always starting with that highest idea and bringing that into our daily living as we allow spirit and the universe to support us in living our greatest lives. So welcome, everyone. I'd like to invite the band back up to lead us in our congregational song, Oh, Let Me Love in a Holy, Holy Way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
hope that brought a few of you to your feet in your living room or your home office. You will notice I was slightly slide advancement challenged. I got, engaged in the music and kind of forgot I was also running the show. So I got to the right slide by the last one, though, so hey, progress. I'd like to let you know about some things that are going on here at the center as we move fully into our service. So I'd like you to know that there's a foundations class that Dr. Pat will be teaching. Those of you who have taken this class, and I know there are many of you, know what a life changer it can be. It is the basics course. You will learn more about the teaching and the universe and your place in it. I have taken it more than once and always found that there was lots to learn. So whether you're new to the teaching or whether you've been around a while, you may feel called to do the foundations class. It's being taught by Zoom Tuesdays, October 12th to December 14th, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And even though it's on Zoom, it is interactive. You will have a chance to talk with others, and you will have a chance to hear as well. And there's also one three-hour Saturday workshop on November 9th or 6th that you should be aware of. The cost is $295, which includes the registration fee that goes to the organization, the international organization. However, our board and Dr. Pat have decided that it's very important that people are able to access this teaching and this kind of growth. So if you think the $295 is a bit steep for you, send an email to the center, office@calgarycsl.org, and just say that. Say that you'd like some help with this foundations class. Dr. Pat will talk with you, and as she always says yes, but she'll talk with you about what will work for you to allow you to access this really important class. So if you feel called to do that, please do let us know. And the book that you'll be using is The Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. I'd also like you to know about another book study that's coming up, read by our own Reverend Leslie McNamara. Many of you know Leslie, and Leslie is an energy mill. She's enthusiastic. She's a great facilitator. I facilitated with her online, and it was a real pleasure to do that. So if you would like to join Leslie, she's doing a book study on a book called Calling in the One. And the claim here is 7 weeks to attract the love of your life. Sounds good. So please join Leslie if you'd like to. It is from 6:30 to 8:30 on Zoom on Wednesday nights, starting October 13th and going through to the 24th. Course fee is $105 plus the book. Apparently there are 2 versions of the book, so look for the most recent one. And register by sending an e-transfer to office@calgarycsl.org and put the one in the memo line so they'll know. And you can send your e-transfer via that memo. And if you're coming to the class, please read week 1 before the first meeting so you get started right off the get-go. We have a number of community groups that are ongoing, and I'd like to tell you about each of those very quickly. The Consciousness Seekers begins again Monday night, September 27th at 7 p.m. Ron Hahn leads that group. Ron's one of our senior practitioner here at the center. And Ron wants you to know that Ron and the group welcome newcomers to that. You don't need to be a member of anything. You just send an email, sign up, and show up. And they really are welcoming of people who want to be there. You don't have to have had a long time in the teaching. They use a book, but the book, they read from the book. So you don't need to have the book before you arrive. You just get a chance to either be there and just listen and hear some interpretations and some sharing, or join in yourself if you'd like to do that. So please know that you are welcome at Consciousness Seekers on Monday nights. Coffee with Dr. Pat happens Wednesdays at noon, so Pat facilitates a bit of a discussion. It's always a pleasure to be in that group. They're interested and lively, and everyone has lots to say, so please join that group if you'd like to. Thursday meditations are starting again from 7 to 7:45. It starts right at 7, so please come a few minutes early and you'll be in a waiting room, and you'll all be admitted at the same time at 7. It's about a half-hour meditation, And that will end. And if you want to leave at that point, you're welcome to leave. So it's not a big discussion. It's definitely for the purpose of meditation. If you do want to stay around a few minutes for a quick discussion, you're welcome to do that, but it is closed at 7:45. The Saging Circle with Neil and Sandra Butler. For those wise folks who are 60 plus, or they're also open to, if you're a little younger but feel like you're called to be in this group, please join them. Saturdays on Zoom, 10 o'clock to noon. And Laughter Yoga, second Friday of the month. Sharon Falconer, one of our members, leads that group. Sharon is a professional laughter facilitator. And that sounds a little funny, that group. Funny, haha, pun not intended. But I've been to several of them, and they really are lots of fun and lots of benefits about breathing and about elevating mood and reducing stress. And all of those groups can be accessed from the Zoom codes on the website or in the newsletter if you are receiving that. So please feel free to join in on any of the activities at the center. We've really, everybody has worked hard to keep the center alive and to keep a lively set of offerings for you, even though we're not physically together. That's the announcements. Let's take a breath, and I'm going to invite Lucille Rarone. Lucille is one of our practitioners here at the center. I'd like Lucille to come up and lead us in a bit of sacred time, spiritual mind treatment, accompanied by a chant from Amy Bishop. So, Lucille.
Love is fire right here, right now, right here, right now. Love is, I am. Love is, I am. Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Love is, I am.
Right here, right now, love is. Divine presence is. Infinite intelligence, wisdom, vitality, peace, hope is right here, right now. Right here, right now, I open my gates of receiving of all that the divine is. For all that the divine is the very stuff of which I am made. Right here, right now, I can claim that divine inheritance. And as we turn seasons from summer to autumn, we follow the seasons into this time of perhaps what seems to be passive and dormant, but in fact it's our time for more deeper contemplation, more deeper going within to this divine presence. For we know that the first shape of our experience is our thoughts. And so our thoughts are inspired by our connection to this divine presence. In fact, our only job is to maintain that connection with divine presence throughout each moment of each day. We know in this divine presence are the shining possibilities of all our desires. And so as we contemplate our desires, we let our imagination run free, unfettered by yesterday, unfettered by the opinions of others, inspired by this divine presence, which inspires our thoughts, our words, our actions, and ultimately our experience. So I give thanks for the knowingness of this truth, for experiencing it tangibly day by day in my experience. And so I release these words knowing that they are already so as spoken, and together we affirm, and so it is.
Love is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. Love is, I am.
Thank you, Lucille. That was beautiful. As we do every week, I invite you to read and to say these words, if you feel comfortable to do that, with me in a moment. We have got a board and an organization here and a spiritual leader in Dr. Pat and our music. We have a center that is, in some ways, the envy of many centers, because I think our consciousness is strong, because the people who are in this center live the teaching. And the leaders all got together and we created this vision and mission statement. And it's something that we really do take to heart. So if you would like to join me, please read along with me. First, our vision statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. Not a world that works necessarily exactly the same for everyone, but one that works for everyone so that we might all live lives of joy and meaning. And the mission statement. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness. And we really do mean it when we say we are an inclusive community. Whatever your background is, wherever you come from, you are welcome here at the center. I'd like to invite the band back up again, and please welcome them wholeheartedly. We have a relatively new name of the group called Elevation, and the group is comprised of the band leader, Oliver Miguel. Stephanie Chapman is on the keyboards, Luis Tovar back here on the drums, and Lisa Jacobs on that gorgeous red bass guitar. And of course, led by our incomparable musical director, Amy Bishop. Elevation.
Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we take and lay down your regrets. All we have is now. Wake up in the morning and get out of bed. Stop making a mental list in my head of all the things I am grateful for. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my eyes and open up my mind, and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and gonna do my part and make this a positively beautiful day. It's a beautiful Life is a challenge, not a competition. You can still smell the roses and be on a mission. Just take a moment, get in touch with your heart. Well, sometimes you feel like you've got something to prove. Just remind yourself there's only one you, and just take a moment to give thanks for who you are. Early in the morning is the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my mind and open up my heart, and I wonder how life will surprise me today. Early in the morning, it's the dawn of a new day, new hopes, new dreams, new ways. Open up my heart and gonna do my part and make this a positive, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's make this so wonderful. Let's make this so powerful. Let's make this a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Life is a journey, not a destination. There are no mistakes, just chances we take, and lay down your regrets, 'cause all we have is now. There are no mistakes.
Thank you, Oliver. Thanks. Aha. Let there be light on the notes. Thank you to the beautiful music makers. I am always inspired and delighted by the music that we have here at the center. I want to begin this talk with a bit of a disclaimer. And I want to say to you that my opinions today are mine. My stories are mine. My interpretations of this teaching are mine. I have a deep grounding in it, and everyone describes the teaching and how they see life in their own unique and perfect ways. I will be sharing wisdom and inspiration from a number of different sources today, and I encourage you to listen for the nuggets. You may not resonate with absolutely everything I've chosen or everything I say, but please look for the nuggets for you, for growth and for inspiration. So take what you like and leave the rest. The talk title I chose today was Fall Back, Spring Ahead. A bit of a play on the way I remember and lots of us remember about daylight saving time. Spring ahead, fall back. I put it in the reverse order because sometimes these days it feels to me as though I'm falling back 2 steps and springing ahead 1 step, and sometimes I'm not springing so much as, sort of tentatively stepping, or maybe sometimes even limping. And so some of you may be feeling that way. You may not. I talked to someone this morning, and she said that she is not feeling quite the way that I am about how life is unfolding right now. Not as much nervousness. For her, almost a bit of cognitive dissonance in that her life is kind of going on as it used to. She does her work, she gets things done, she connects and gets work happening, but isn't quite as impacted by the outside events as I have been. So I'm going to be describing to you some of what my experience has been, and I know that many of you will resonate with it as well. So sometimes I feel frustrated, sometimes I feel down about what's going on in the world. And even when that is happening for me, because of this teaching, I always know, somewhere kind of buried in the back of my mind, that this unfoldment of events that we see on the news and that we see around us is not the truth of me or the truth of us as spiritual human beings, is it? But despite all my years on the planet and in this teaching, I'm not always able to quickly remember that, to remember that there's a bigger picture, and I get stuck in the details. And I know I'm not alone. My doctor's office sent a recent email out to all of us, and there are thousands of us in this particular practice. And they noted that requests for appointments for mental health have risen greatly since the last couple of years has happened. And I talk to coworkers, to family, to friends, and to people from the center who at times, like me, are struggling. So in preparation for this talk, though, I thought, well, Marjorie, you can't just come in here and complain. Oops. That was not easy, as I'm finding the stem of this stand. I thought, Marjorie, you need to dig a little deeper here. You need to kind of figure out what's going on other than this sort of uneasiness. So I did some serious mulling. That's the technical term. I mulled over what's been going on for me. And I realized I've been in a kind of a funk. Just a sort of not a clinical depression by any means, but just this sort of low grade, almost like a depression. I read on Twitter, somebody described it as not so much a depression as a, how did they talk about it? A fourth wave uneasiness. So I started with acknowledging what I've been feeling and just saying, okay, well, just accept that. Just notice it rather than sort of trying to push it away and pretend it's not happening. Just be aware. Just be honest about where you are at in this moment. So I realized that I've been feeling kind of sick and tired of stuff, of the world around me. So I'm sick and tired of Zoom and Microsoft Teams meetings on video and webcams. I'm really tired of seeing myself on camera. I'm okay today, but I'm tired of eating in my car after getting takeout instead of going into some nice restaurant that I can be comfortable in. Someone should invent the car food tray, don't you think? Kind of like an airline food tray, and you sort of pull it out from the console or somewhere. There's a good idea for some entrepreneur. I'm tired of assessing risk before I do anything. Can I go to the hairdresser? Should I go to this restaurant? Should I be seeing that person? When do I need to wear a mask? I'm really tired of calculating what 6 feet looks like in many different environments. I'm tired of my dining room table being covered with 23-inch computer monitors, a docking station, a laptop, a keyboard, a headset, a webcam, and all those cords. Am I the only one who is challenged with computer cords everywhere? Power bars. I'm tired of my 1,100 square foot apartment that is now living space and 2 workplaces. I'm tired of restrictions that limit my movements around town and getting together with my friends and my family. I'm tired of getting takeout movie popcorn instead of sitting in the theater stuffing my face with popcorn. I'm really tired of numbers and statistics and political decisions. I'm tired of feeling scared, resentful, angry. I'm tired of trying to make myself listen better and seeking to understand rather than just feeling smug and right. And I'm tired of myself. When did I get to be so judgy? And sometimes what I want to do is just put my fingers in my ears. The other day I was talking to a friend, and he was talking completely sensibly about life and about human beings, and all I wanted to do was go, too much information. And part of me doesn't want to come out of this funk. Part of me wants to stay in my little bubble of righteousness and denial. However, I'm not like this all the time. But part of me doesn't want to shift. The other day, I was with my 5-month-old niece, who is like the most adorable presence ever. I mean, look at this baby. How adorable is this? And look at her parents. This child is going to have a sense of humor. She's 4 months old, and they've got her like the flying ace. I smile every time I look at that photo. And I love the detail. They've even put clouds up here on the comforter. Anyway, she is just a delight. She's bubbly and gorgeous and sweet and lovely. I babysat her the other night, and I had her for 4 hours by myself. And 2 adults are no match for a 5-month-old, I've discovered. Because with very little notice, she goes from this to, her little face gets all red, and the sounds that issue from this tiny little pair of lungs is quite amazing. So from, 0 seconds to not very many seconds later, she can go to this, and sometimes that's how I feel, oh my goodness, what's going on, to this. So that is how I feel some of the time. Mostly I feel like I'm a pretty level person, pretty cheerful, but I'm certainly having my moments of feeling in some distress or feeling like, I just want to, anybody else feel like me? You just some days want to just crawl under the bed or just have a good cry? So I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak today because it provided me the opportunity to push a little deeper. And I realize that underneath this dissatisfaction, what's going on for me is that I think I'm grieving. I'm mourning the loss of something that I fondly remember. And I may have, rose-colored glasses as I remember this. But I feel like I'm mourning the things that I'm no longer seem to have. Such as we seem to have a lot of polarization among us these days on the media and just even in conversations with friends. Seems like our opinions and attitudes can be quite far apart, and it seems like more of a struggle to find common ground on various topics. And I feel like there's less listening on my part and perhaps on others' parts. I don't think we're listening as generously as we used to. And I miss what I remember as a more congenial time of listening to one another and finding common ground. Or maybe it was just more under the radar, but everything seems to be in our faces right now with this polarizing of ideas. I miss my family and friends. On November the 11th, my sister always has a big dinner for us because my family has a lot of veterans. And so, we get together and we have a celebration of our elders who are all gone now. And we're not going to be doing that again this year. And I'm sad about that. I miss my coworkers and the energy of my workplace. I work at Bow Valley College here, a community college. In the last month or so, I was in the college a few times, but mostly I've been working from home, and I'm back at home again now with new restrictions in the province. So I was in the college, and oh my gosh, there were people there with like whole bodies, like they had legs and everything. Because I communicate a lot on video, but you only get the head and shoulders. So there were real live people. There were students in the hallways, and our college is like the United Nations. There are people from all different countries and backgrounds. So I loved the energy, and I miss that. I miss the freedom of movement and the feeling of safety and security that I took for granted. The second thing I discovered as I mulled and looked a little deeper is that I feel like I've been in a bit of a holding pattern. I don't know if some of you may be able to identify with this. A sort of suspended animation. I'm cocooning and doing less while I wait for life to get back to normal. I will feel better, I will re-engage when people stop getting sick, when the ICUs are not overrun, when the numbers go down, when the government changes, when I go back to work on campus, when this happens, when that happens. However, I also realized life is not on hold. Time is passing. It's been 17 months, more than 500 days, since I was sent home from work, kind of dramatically. Go home this afternoon, take your equipment with you. But life has been going on. In preparing for this talk, I rediscovered some ambition to get out of this sort of holding place and move back more fully into whatever a new normal is. Life is going on. I'm a great aunt for the third time. You saw a beautiful little Carter. I've learned new skills. My work is very different being online than it was when I was face-to-face. My family and friends are still here, available for me to contact them and spend time with them in a different way. The center is here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There is much going on now, not someday when the virus goes away, or when we all like each other better again, or when. This strange time is part of the journey. The other day I found myself saying to a friend, "This too shall pass." And she said, "This too is the path." This experience we are having collectively here in this province and in this country and in the entire world, this collective experience we are having is part of all of our paths. And how we manage it, what we do with it, is entirely up to each one of us. So I promised in the description of this talk that I would share with you some of the ways I am allowing myself to be lifted, some of the ways that I am looking for inspiration. Because when we come down to it, it's not the outside influences that make the difference, is it? It's how we look at life, and from our life, the bigger life. What we see with our eyes, what we feel with our good hearts, what we hear with our clear heads and generous listening, what we choose to pay attention to, and what we choose to do daily and minute by minute with what surrounds us. I just had a vision of, what's the little guy? Charlie Brown. Characters in Charlie Brown, and a lemonade stand for some reason popped into my mind. But are we making lemonade out of what we see as lemons around us? So today I'm going to offer you some stories, some readings that have inspired me, not just so we can all feel better in the moment, although that's got value, but so that you and I can heal and grow into our true spiritual legacy, which is that we are powerful beyond measure. I offer this that we might heal and change and grow from where we are now, regardless of where that is. You may be feeling cognitive dissonance. You may be feeling similar to what I described. Maybe you're not there. Maybe you're feeling pretty darn good about life. But wherever you are at in your emotions and in your life today, I hope that you will take something from this, some inspiration. So we might move closer to our desired state of living and acting from a place of love and light and peace and power. And I offer this to help us accept that this world condition is a temporary circumstance, a small moment in the history of humanity. And by remembering our own power, we are doing our part to shift this energy to the evolution that is unfolding. Because the bottom line of this teaching is that only you and I can do this for ourselves. And I just have to believe, even when I'm in moments when I'm in some doubt, I have to believe that human beings, we are spiritual at our core. And how we have created this mass consciousness event worldwide, I think for our own evolution. I think we're here to grow from it. I think it's bringing stuff to the forefront that probably was simmering underneath, and that's how it bubbled up. So we want to do this individually so that we can create these lives of joy and meaning that are a blessing to ourselves and to others. And the good news is we are never doing this alone. We have within us a power that lifts us and sustains us. Our job is to listen and absorb, accepting that this power has never left us, never will leave us. It is constant. It is infinite. The only moving target is our own understanding and our own willingness to accept our own spiritual nature and to invite the presence of the divine within us and all around us to sustain and inspire us and lead us 2 steps forward, maybe sometimes feeling like we're going 1 step back. So let me show you some of the ways that I've been inspired in the last couple of years, year and a half. To begin with, always, you can never be on the wrong track if you're leading off with Ernest Holmes. So Ernest Holmes wrote, "Fear begins and ends with the mind of the one thinking it. The nightmare of its binding thought is broken as we turn to a belief in the goodness of God, the presence of a creative mind, and the feeling of a love that never fails. As we do this, a peace steals upon us. A faith rises up again within us." I love that last line. The peace steals upon us. We only need the willingness to come to this place of acceptance, and the rest happens. Chris Michaels said, "Our problems, challenges, and limitations are tiny, insignificant matters compared with the immense power we have to overcome them. We are powerful beings. All of our power is generated from within. It rises up to meet whatever challenge it is faced with. This power is spiritual power that comes directly from the life of God or the life force, or whatever name you have for that, within every individual, and it is limitless." I am also inspired by, so not only by words, which are very powerful to me, I'm inspired by music and musicians and lyrics. Our beautiful band every week, really a sustaining thing for me, and I know for many of us. Their skill, the sounds of the instruments that they play, their voices joined in harmony, and their voices coming out individually. It's so beautiful, and it's such an expression of life that I think that's why music is so powerful for so many of us. And they're beautiful inner lights when they play together. I totally love the moment at the end of the service when they all pause and they get in connection with each other, and then they point at the sound guys. And I just love that, because I've said to Amy, you all look like you're just so kind of pleased with yourselves. So I love that, right? And that sharing of that energy is such a huge gift. So not only the skill, but just that joy of living. So I was listening to music the other day. I have the gift of a partner who loves music, and so she has created all these amazing playlists and downloaded all kinds of music that's now in my car. So I'm driving along, and I get this song that I'd never heard before by a singer-songwriter named Katie Curtis, and her name is spelled C-A-T-I-E if you look her up. And Katie sang, and I'm not going to sing for you unless I get really inspired, but I love the lyrics of this song. She said, "Some people say you don't need to worry. Some people say you don't worry enough. Some people say you better hurry. Some people say, what's the rush? Hey, 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 it's all right, it's okay. We can make it work. Up or down, left or right, yellow, brown, black or white. It's another day on earth." Here's my favorite part. Ooh, hoo, hoo. And she goes on to say, "Thank you, Oliver." For the girl who was told in grade school to mouth the words, that's a bit of a risk to actually sing. She also says or sings in that song, "Some people say save all your money. Some people say you should spend it all now. Some people say there's never too many. Some people say no more allowed. Hey, 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 it's all right, it's okay. Some people say there's always tomorrow. Some people say tomorrow's too late. Some people say the leaders will follow. Some people say, how long must we wait? Hey, 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 it's all right, it's okay." And the chorus, "We can make it work. Up or down, left or right, yellow, brown, black or white. It's another day on earth. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's another day, it's a brand new day. It's another day on earth." I loved Lucille's meditation this morning and her spiritual mind treatment, both of them talking about this. It's a brand new day. It's another day on earth, and it's a brand new one. So I'm inspired by music. I'm also inspired by the action and examples of brave and beautiful people. And by the way, I found these next two examples on the internet. So I am very mindful that I can use social media to make my life tougher, or I can use social media to inspire myself and to look for the things in there that do build me up and that remind me that life is good and people are good. And so when I'm looking, so inspiration is everywhere. That's part of what I said in the description of this talk. Inspiration is everywhere. What it requires is for me and for you, it requires us to look with clear eyes and an open heart. And when we do that, we find the good stuff. And we don't get bogged down in all the negative stuff that's also prevalent. So inspiration is everywhere. Somebody who's been inspiring me is a woman she's an artist, a professor, a neuroscientist. Her name is Dr. Nadia Chaudhry. She is dying from ovarian cancer, and she is putting her journey out there on Twitter and online. And she is, by her positive comments, by her willingness to be vulnerable and to share, she's inspired thousands of people. In fact, she's inspired 6,000 donors to donate $500,000 for graduate fellowships for minority students. So she's going to be leaving the planet from a place of peace, power, strength, and beauty. And I love that she's so bravely and beautifully sharing her journey. So you'll notice on this slide, this is some of her family and support system. She calls her husband her moon, and her son, S-U-N, and she posts photos of her son and her moon. And you see all her family support that she's brought in. And, friends that have rallied around to support her. This is a friend with a giant chocolate chip cookie. Concordia Hospital, where she is in Eastern Canada, they do this thing called the shuffle. So every morning with her IV pole, I don't think she's able to quite do that now, so now she's doing the shuffle from her bed. But she posted a number of videos of her with the IV pole and all dressed up and shuffling, doing her healthy shuffle in the morning. So inspiring, so beautiful. This is her son. She writes that her parents' home is in Karachi, was surrounded by mango trees. And as a child, I would sit in the branches and devour sun-ripened mangoes. So this photo of my little one warms my heart. And it warms us all by her willingness to be in that place and to share that with us. And finally, she is still making art. From her hospital bed, she is creating art. So she writes this one. It says, "I don't think my mother-in-law is on Twitter, so I can post this here and still surprise her." So she is one of the people that I watch for on Twitter, and I find inspires me frequently. I'm also inspired by another person that some of you may be aware of. His name is Gurdeep Pander of the Yukon. And his message is that he is spreading joy, hope, and positivity in Canada and around the world. I smile every time I see one of his tweets, and he's been invited by hundreds of groups to energize and inspire them. So this is a photograph of billboards that I think it's BMO has created these huge billboards of him because he's inspired so many. And he did a thing recently where a group of retired women, they had known each other since they were in grade school, I think. And there were about 10 of them maybe. We can't show you the video because of copyright. But he writes, this group of women went to elementary school together in Saskatchewan. Now they're all 70 years old and still in touch with each other, even though they live in different provinces. They decided to travel to the Yukon together and visited me at my cabin. So he has a cabin literally in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nothing around it except the glory of nature. And so if you want to Google him and go there, not while I'm talking, but if you want to go there and Google him, you'll see these amazing women. And I'm close to 70, so they're doing Bhangra. I don't know how to do this. But, it's like the East Indian dancing. And there's all these beautiful women in their various stages of being spry, not maybe as spry as me, but it's very inspirational. And there are ones where he's leading groups of military on a tarmac, really inspirational. So his message, spreading joy, hope and positivity is really powerful. And he's done that just by, he tweets, and his energy and his willingness to do that attracts us to that and lifts us all up. So, I want to also share with you that I'm also very inspired by nature. So a few more slides here. This is a slide, my partner took this picture at Lake Louise. You know, here in Alberta, we live in some of the most gorgeous scenery in the world. And so I'm often inspired by nature. This is a sunflower from our center here, from the beautiful garden that Michael created this year. And it's huge. That thing is like, I don't know, it's at least 14 or 15 inches across. Isn't this beautiful? This is my car through the windshield in the car wash. There is inspiration everywhere. And so is that, right? We love going to the car wash. We're like a couple of kids, right? We get in the car wash and we're like, oh, the colors are coming now. There is inspiration everywhere. So in this talk, I've shared with you some of the ways I do my best to stay out of the weeds, to lift myself into more positive, clear thinking and living. I muddle my way through, using words, music, examples of individuals who are living with joy and courage, nature, and this teaching, and the words of Ernest Holmes. I strive to listen and watch and let these inspirational teachers and words and music influence me, rather than pay attention to the negative stuff that is also very prevalent and calls for my attention. As I close, Ernest Holmes said, "Every desire you have for betterment in life is some echo from deep within which forever proclaims, 'Behold, I make all things new.'" He also said, "Every time we think something new is being done, God or spirit or life is not a static God, and there is no time when creation begins. In the eternal now, spirit moves upon the face of the waters. In the eternal now, by thought, spirit moves as the law of the universe, and out of it arises a new creation." So I strive to remember that this stuff that's going on around us is a temporary condition arising from some mass consciousness that even as I speak is being healed, being shifted, as humankind moves into its next great expression. From this seeming chaos, I choose love and order, because this is who and what I am, and I know that it is who and what you are. We will overcome this, and this triumph begins with you and with me. Namaste.
Question is why? Why are we here? To say our goodbyes and hellos, then disappear. It's a beautiful life, but what is it for? To learn to master peace or master war. There's only one answer that matters, even when your heart has been shattered. Whatever you want whatever you are after. Love is still the answer. Till the end of my days is what did I give and what will I take? There's only one answer that matters, even when your heart and your dreams have been scattered. Whatever you want, whatever you are after.
Isn't that the truth? Love is still the answer. Thank you for your beautiful music this morning. Thank you, Reverend Lucille, for your gorgeous words and the meditation. Reverend Lucille, I just promoted you right on. Ooh. And thank you, Jason and Bernie, for the sound. Brilliant. And now I would like to call on you, please, to think about what the center means to you, and from this place, offer your good. So if you would like to donate to the good work that we do here at the center, to having this happen every day, to lift hearts and minds and create our vision and mission for a world that works for everyone, please feel free to send in your donations. And you can do that in a number of ways. You can send an e-transfer to office@calgarycsl.org. And you can use the website, go there to make a donation from there. I think PayPal is on there. If you're donating from the States, please say US dollars. It just makes the accounting easier here. You can, pardon me? Canadian dollars. Thank you. It takes a village. Yes, say Canadian dollars. Thank you. You can send us a check, good old-fashioned check, and you can call the office. So either telephone, or you can donate via debit or credit by phone. You can also join Conscious Commitment, which is my choice. So I just signed up, and a certain amount of money comes out of my bank account every month. And each time I see that debit from my account, I think, oh yeah, worth every penny. So let us together say our conscious giving affirmation. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. And all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And join us from home and sing our chant. Love, sure. My inner rock goddess has had a little hit this morning. You can feel the vibration from the instruments on the floor as well. So it's like, this is a very cool experience. What's that? Yes, I guess so. The booming bass back there. Okay, everybody, let's get ourselves up if you're not standing up now. And let's just generate that energy. Let's infuse in the action of our hands together. Let's infuse the peace, the power, the love, the energy that we want to see out there in the world. And we know that it begins with us. So drawing on this energy within yourself, we're just going to spread it out to wherever you want it to go. So your intention, you may have an intention in mind, or you may just want this good stuff, this energy, this love to just change the planet. And ready, set. Let her go. Whoosh. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay around and hear the closing song by Elevation. Namaste.
Well, it's all right, riding around on a breeze. Well, it's all right if you feel the life you lead. Well, it's all got something to say, well, it's alright. Remember to live and let live, well, it's alright. Best you can do is forgive, well, it's alright. Riding around on a breeze, well, it's alright. If you live the life you lead, it's alright. Even if the sun don't shine, well, it's alright. Going to the end of the line.
Oh my God.
Well, it's alright.